Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name is Makeba Williams, and my mission is to heal and activate by implementing health and wellness practices while pivoting through life lessons of building wealth and philanthropic goals, and as a result, I ultimately ascend to a meaningful lifestyle of higher places and remarkable experiences while making a difference. This video is entitled Tyler Perry Mea Culpa Inspired Painting Series. Disclaimer: before I start painting, I want to say I do not own the rights to Unshakable, and their mission is dedicated to building unbreakable inner strength, unwavering faith, and a resilient mindset. Tyler Perry is an American actor, director, producer, screenwriter, and playwright. And the video and/or audio is entitled 8 Signs You Are a Woman Blessed by God. Tyler Perry Motivation and/or Sermon audio. I absolutely love this audio, and I can't stop listening to this audio. Tyler Perry voice is anointed. While I paint, please listen to 8 Signs You Are a Woman Blessed by God by Tyler Perry. Unshakable, thank you for sharing. And please like, comment, and subscribe.
There's something about being called, something about being chosen that people don't always understand. When you are set apart for a purpose greater than yourself, it comes with a weight that most will never have to carry. The chosen ones, those destined for something higher, walk a different path. And because of that, they often walk it alone. When God calls you, He doesn't send you down an easy road. He doesn't place you in the middle of the crowd where you can blend in and feel comfortable. No, He pulls you out. He sets you apart. And that separation can feel like isolation. It can feel like loneliness, like rejection, like you don't belong anywhere. But let me tell you something, you were never meant to belong where you were called to lead. The burden of being chosen is heavy. It means you see things differently. It means you hear things that others don't hear. It means that the vision inside you, the burns in your spirit, will set you on a course that others can't understand. You will try to explain it to them, and they will look at you like you speak in another language. You will try to bring them with you, but they won't want to go. And that's where the pain comes in, because being chosen doesn't just separate you from the world. It often separates you from the people you love. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've had moments where you felt completely alone, wondering why no one seems to understand you. You sat in rooms full of people and still felt like an outsider. You've been surrounded by friends and family and still felt an emptiness inside, because deep down, you were meant for something else. But here's what I need you to understand. That feeling isn't a mistake. That loneliness isn't an accident. It is a sign that God is doing something in you that He is not doing in everyone else. When you are chosen, you cannot live like everybody else. You cannot think like everybody else. And you cannot move like everybody else. That's why you don't fit in. That's why you struggle to relate. It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's that there's something different about you. God has placed something inside of you that requires separation, because what is building in you requires focus. It requires discipline. It requires obedience. And it requires you to let go of the need to be understood. Some of the greatest men and women of God were isolated before they were elevated. Look at Moses, raised in Pharaoh's house, but not truly one of them. Called to lead his people, but rejected by them at first. Look at Joseph, given a dream, but sold by his own brothers. Look at David, anointed as king, but sent back to the field over and over again. The pattern is the same. Before the chosen ones can step into their destiny, they must endure the loneliness that comes with being set apart. And that loneliness, it breaks you. It humbles you. It brings you But that breaking is necessary because when God is preparing you, he has to strip away everything that is not meant to go with you. The relationships that were only meant for a season, the habits that no longer serve your purpose, the distractions that keep you from hearing his voice. And sometimes the only way he can do that is to pull you away from everything and everyone you thought you needed. I know it's hard. I know there are nights when you wonder why God would place such a heavy burden on your shoulders. I know there are moments when you want to give up, when you think maybe I'm not strong enough for this. But I came to tell you today that you were built for this. You were chosen for this. And if God called you to it, he will give you the strength to carry. Loneliness. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning. It is the refining fire that purifies your purpose. It is the space where God speaks the clearest. It is the preparation ground for something far greater than you can imagine. So don't fight it. Don't resist it. Embrace it. Because when the time comes, when God says it's time to step into the fullness of your calling, you will look back and realize that the loneliness wasn't loneliness at all. It was God walking with you, shaping you, preparing you so that when he finally sends you out, you will be ready. Rejection has a way of cutting deep. It makes you question yourself, wonder if you're good enough, if you're worthy, if you're truly meant for the calling you feel burning inside. You step out in faith, believing that people will see what God has placed in you, believing they will support you, believing they will stand by your side, but instead they walk away, they turn their backs. They just miss you. And that pain, it doesn't just touch your heart, it shakes your very soul. But let me tell you something, rejection is not a punishment, it is preparation. It is not God saying you are not good enough. It is God saying you are being set apart. Too often we take rejection personally. We see it as a sign that we have failed, we are not wanted, that we are unworthy. But when God allows rejection in your life, it is because he is redirecting you. He is protecting you. He is making sure that you do not settle for something that is beneath the purpose he has placed on your life. Look at Joseph. His own brothers rejected him, threw him into a pit, sold him into slavery. He had dreams, visions of what God was going to do through him. But before he could step into that destiny, he had to walk through the fire of rejection. If his brothers had accepted him, he would have stayed where he was. If they had embraced him, he would have never been forced onto the path that led him to Egypt, to the palace, to the position God had already prepared for him. Sometimes the very people you think should support you, you will be the ones to push you away. They won't understand your vision. They won't see what you see. And you will be tempted to shrink yourself down, to lower your calling just to be accepted. But God didn't call you to be accepted. He called you to be set apart. He called you to rise above, to lead, to stand where others refuse to stand. And that means rejection isn't something to fear. It is something to embrace. When you're rejected, don't waste time chasing after people who don't see your value. Don't sit around crying over doors that have closed, because if God allowed that door to shut, it means he has something greater in store. You might not see it now. You might not understand it in the moment, but if you trust him, if you keep walking, if you keep believing, you will come to realize that every rejection was actually a blessing. Every no is a step toward a greater yes. Some of you are holding on to the pain of rejection, and it's keeping you from stepping into what God has for you. You're still thinking about the people who left. You're still replaying the words they said. You're still letting their opinions define your worth. But listen to me, your value is not determined by the people who reject you. Your calling is not canceled just because someone didn't believe in you. If God called you, that is all the confirmation you need. If God chose you, then no amount of rejection can stop what he has planned. You have to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing rejection as a loss, start seeing it as a sign that God is moving in your life. He is closing doors that need to be closed. He is removing people who cannot go where you are going. He is making sure that when you step into your destiny. You are surrounded by the right people in the right place at the right time. Jesus himself faced rejection. He was despised, ridiculed, mocked by the very ones he came to save. He was betrayed by those closest to him, and yet he never let their rejection stop him from fulfilling his purpose. If even Jesus had to endure rejection, why do we think we will be embraced? Why do we think that? Being chosen means we will be embraced. The truth is, the greater the calling, the greater the rejection. The higher the purpose, the lonelier the road. But here's what I need you to understand. Rejection is not the end of your story. It is a necessary part of your preparation. It is shaping you, refining you, making you stronger, because when you finally step into the place God has been leading you, you will look back and realize that every rejection was actually God's way of saying, I have something better. You will see that he was always in control, always guiding your steps, always preparing you for something greater than you could have imagined. So the next time you face rejection, don't cry over it. Don't beg for acceptance. Stand tall. Hold your head high, and remember, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. And God is using every rejection to push you closer to your purpose. There comes a point in life when you realize that before God elevates you, he first allows you to be broken. It's not the kind of breaking that destroys you. It's the kind that strips away everything that is not meant to go with you into your next season. It's the kind of breaking that refines, that humbles, that prepares. Because God never promotes without preparation. And preparation always comes with pain. Some people think being chosen means an easy road, a life free from struggle. But if you look at anyone God has ever used, you will see a pattern. The end. Before the elevation, there is isolation. Before the breakthrough, there is heartbreak. Before the crown, there is a crushing. And in that crushing, you will feel like everything is falling apart. You will feel like the very things you thought were secure are being taken from you. You will wonder why God is allowing you to go through so much pain when all you've ever tried to do is follow him. That's the thing about being chosen. It means you have to go through what others won't because you are being prepared for something others can't handle. When God has a high calling on your life, he cannot afford to let you walk into it unprepared. He cannot afford to let you carry pride, bitterness, unforgiveness, or dependency on people. So he allows the breaking, not the giving, not because he is cruel, but because he knows that what he has for you is too great to be carried by who you are right now. Look at David, anointed as a young man, called to be king, but before he ever sat on a throne, he had to run for his life. He had to hide in caves. He had to be betrayed by the very people he once fought for. God had already chosen him, but he wasn't ready yet. He had the anointing, but he still needed the process, and the process was painful. Some of you are in that process right now. You are in the middle of the breaking, and you don't understand why. You are looking at your life, wondering why doors keep closing, why relationships keep falling apart, why the very things you prayed for seem to be slipping through your fingers. You are asking God, why me? Why this? Why now? And the answer is simple, because he is making you into who you were always meant to be. Gold is refined in fire. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Olive oil only flows when the olive is crushed. And you, what God has placed inside of you, can only be revealed through the breaking the dreams he has given you, the purpose he has placed within you, the strength he knows is in you. All of it has to be drawn out, and it cannot happen when you are comfortable. It cannot happen when everything is easy. It happens when you are on your knees, when you have nothing left but God, when every earthly thing has failed you, and the only thing you have to hold on to is his word. You might not see it now, but one day you will look back and thank him for the breaking. One day you will realize that every tear, every heartbreak, every loss was not working against you, but for you. You will see that what you thought was rejection was actually protection. What you thought was suffering was actually preparation. What you thought was the end was actually the beginning of the person God was molding you into. So don't resist the process. Don't try to rush the healing. Let God do what he needs to do. Let him strip away what no longer serves you. Let him remove the distractions, the attachments, the things that are keeping you from stepping fully into your calling. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will feel unfair. But when he is finished, you will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be unshakable. And when the time comes for him to elevate you, you will be ready. When God sets you apart, he does not always make it obvious. He does not always announce it with signs and wonders that make others stand in awe. Instead, he does something far more subtle, far more powerful. He makes you different. And for a long time, you might not even understand it yourself. You just know that you don't quite fit in. You can be surrounded by people, yet still feel like you are walking a different path. You can have opportunities, but something inside you tells you they are not for you. You can have relationships, but they don't seem to last. And at some point you start asking yourself, why? Why does it feel like I don't belong? Why does it seem like my journey is so different from everyone else's? The answer is simple: because you were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to fit where you don't belong. You were created to be like everyone else, because the calling on your life is not like everyone else's. There is something about you that God has set apart for a purpose greater than you can see right now. And that kind of purpose, it requires a different path. It requires a process that many people will never understand. There is a weight that comes with being chosen, a loneliness that often accompanies purpose. And if you are not careful, you will start to resent the very thing that makes you special. You will start to see your uniqueness as a burden instead of a blessing. You will start to think that something is wrong with you because you don't think like others, you don't move like others, you don't settle like others. But let me tell you something. Being different is not a curse. It is proof that God's hand is on your life. It is evidence that he is calling you higher, preparing you for something greater, something that requires you to be set apart. And that process, it's not always easy. It means you will lose some people along the way. It means you will have seasons of isolation where it feels like no one understands you. It means you will have to walk through doors alone, trusting that if God led you there, he will sustain you. It means you will have to make choices that don't make sense to others, choices that require faith, choices that require sacrifice. Look at Moses. He grew up in Pharaoh's palace, surrounded by wealth, power, privilege, but deep inside, he knew he didn't belong. He could have stayed. He could have lived a comfortable life, but he was called to something greater. And that calling, it led him into the wilderness. It led him into a place of isolation. It led him into a season where he had nothing but God. But in that place, in that loneliness, in that separation, some of you are in that wilderness right now. Some of you feel like you are walking alone, like you have been separated from everything familiar. And it's tempting to think that maybe you've missed it. Maybe you've done something wrong. But I want you to hear me. This is not punishment. This is preparation. God is not keeping you apart to harm you. He is setting you apart to prepare you. He is teaching you to depend on him, to trust him when the path isn't clear, to walk by faith even when you cannot see what's ahead. And when the time comes, when he finally reveals what he has been preparing you for, you will look back and realize that every lonely season, every difficult choice, every moment you felt out of place, it was all necessary. You will see that he was never ignoring you, never forgetting you. He was setting you apart, shaping you, making sure that when the time came for you to step into your purpose, you would be ready. There is something about being chosen that makes you a target. The moment God sets you apart, the moment he places a calling on your life, the battle begins. And for some, that battle starts early.